Hip external rotation, pails and rails in 90-90. Promise me you will try this one. This is the technique that saved my hip. What we're doing here is creating space at the back of your hip. Once you have space back there, you can actually access a proper hip hinge for a deadlift or a squat or a founder. You can actually access the AFIR and that hip pullback that we want in PRI, and you can get a clean roll if you're doing your DNS techniques. So come down on the ground, join me, and let's get you started. First off, a word on rotational capacities versus linear capacities. So in our peripheral joints, like our hip, we prioritize rotational capacities because they access the deepest part of the joint, the capsule. And when we target the capsule, we improve capacities in both rotational and linear directions. So linear is flexion, extension, abduction, adduction. Here, we're going to do external rotation and get that capsule. Next, let's set you up in 90-90. So if you feel like this is too awkward or you're off to the side, you could try grabbing a pillow, put it under your lead leg hip, and that will take you out of some of the depth of this range and might feel more comfortable. The other option is you can take your trail leg and you can bring the knee and the foot in, close it a little bit. That will help with any pinching in this trail leg hip. If neither of those get you comfortable, then just regress for a few weeks to either the figure 4 on the wall, or you could try the side lying version to work on your external rotation. If you're good to go, let's go find our line of tension. So what I want you to do is play a little bit with your pelvis. Try to get your pelvis nice and square to your lead leg. Then I want you to play with your rib cage, and most of us probably need to pick it up and stack it up over your pelvis. We want your respiratory diaphragm and your pelvic diaphragms parallel so we can get that connection and integration for core. Once you've got this organized, we are going to do a pure hip hinge forward. Keep your shoulders open, keep yourself proud, long spine, and you should find a line of tension at the back of this lead leg hip. As you hinge, you are going to try to almost stick your tailbone and your sit bone out the back and bow that stretch. Just make sure you don't lose that connection of your core. Now, we're going to be here for at least 2 minutes. Time under tension, force duration is one of the 3 parameters for creating biological and neurological change. So use your breathing, particularly your parasympathetic breathing, a long breath out or a belly breath in, and pull yourself out of your sympathetic nervous system to get rid of some of that muscle tone that's protecting your hip. We're also taking up that crimp angle creep of collagen, so the stress strain curve, to get to your full end range position. Now that we are at our true end range, we can apply our pails. So this is our force intensity, the second parameter for creating biological change. First thing is we need to irradiate, which means we need to build a little bit of internal tension. So I want you to grab your bucket of cement, pour it over you top to bottom, lock everything in place. Your ankle, lock it to 90 degrees. Your arm, lock it into the ground. Your shoulders, pull them back, engage them. Get your spine tall. Bring up your breathing intensity, bring up your core intensity, and now that we are irradiating, we are going to apply our pails. Your hand is going to go onto your knee, and the idea is your knee drives up into your hands, your foot drives down into the ground. You're denting the ground. Now, we need your greatest, safest effort. So I want you to put a number on this. Ideally, work up to 80% of your maximum effort of driving the knee up into your hand and your foot down into the ground. Nothing moves, but the more internal tension you get here, internal force, the faster we get biological and neurological change. The more expensive this movement, the more it's going to stick. So 10 seconds, go. Nice work. Now you're ready for your rails, which is going to be the opposite. So again, you still have this bucket of cement on, nothing moves, but you are going to now try to drive the knee down into the ground and the foot up off of the ground with the same intensity. Greatest, safest effort, pull the knee away from your hand. Good, nothing moves, don't pop out of this, and try to take a little bit of the weight of your foot off of the floor. That is external rotation. You need to earn this. Keep breathing 10 seconds of that greatest, safest effort. If you're having trouble figuring out how to get that knee down into the floor, sometimes we'll put a target there like a tennis ball, and that's what I want you to crush. Now you can relax everything, but do not pop out of this. You earned it. So hands can come back down to the ground. Make sure you still have your rib cage nicely stacked over your pelvis. And let's go see if you can access some more range. Remember, stay proud, shoulders open, spine is long. I've got more range. So I am gonna do 2 or 3 more pails and rails, trying to get a little deeper into this. Now there is an option for your second and third pails and rails if you want to be really specific about taking up your external rotation range. Instead of hinging forward to capture that new end range, try putting something underneath your foot, and that brings you deeper into external rotation, and you're good to go for your second and third pails and rails. The last parameter for biological change is force consistency, which means let's do this again tomorrow. Hi there, I'm Michelle from Movement 101. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and if you would like more content like this, go down to the first link in the description below. And of course, to get this information out there, it does help to click like, hit subscribe, and make a comment. And let's make sure your body is built to last. Thanks for watching.